Hi guys, in this tutorial we are going to learn how to install Django and configure in our local machine. So before installing the Django, make sure that you configure that your virtual environmental. So you must know about the virtual environmental, right? So in this, let's say I'm going to desktop, then copy the path here, changing the directory and paste the path and enter. It will redirect to the desktop page. So in the desktop directory, so then I can create a virtual environmental. So I'm using the Linux machine. So for the Linux machine, the command is Python 3 mvnv. I think this is the same command for Windows and also MacBook as well as. So create a virtual environment command, then press enter. It will take few seconds. Okay, and type ls. As you can see, this is the vnv folder here. So I'm going to the cd vnv ls. As you can see, there are so many folder here. So before going to this file, let me again back to the directory again. ls again to the back to the same directory, and here I can do source vnv bin activate. So this is the command to activate the virtual environmental in Linux. I think this is the same command for MacBook as well as. So if you are a Windows user, then the command is you have to go to the that vnv folder, then bin folder, then you have to type activate the bat manually, or you can type script vnv bin activate in for Windows machine. For Linux or MacBook, you have to type source vnv slash bin then activate. All right. Then after that, then you have to install the Django. So the installing Django, you have to do pip command. Due to the I'm using the Linux machine, that's why I'm configure the PIP, which PIP version I'm going to use. So I'm going to PIP 3. Then install Django. So this command will download your latest version of Django. So if you want to install specific version, then you can do double equal to then the version name. Like say I'm using 3.2, then you can do 3.2. If you want to latest version, then you can do only Django. So we are going to use the latest version of Django, so you can do pip install Django. Just enter. So it will automatically install that Django library or Django framework in our virtual environmental. So virtual environmental is a tool that will all the packages, all the whatever the package you download, that install or download in virtual environmental, not in your local machine. So this is the benefit we're using virtual environmental. Okay. So I think that is installed in our inside our virtual environmental. Now we can do the thing. The we can create a Django project. So right now I'm going to check the Django version. That is Django admin dash dash virgin. Let's say I think the spelling is something correct. Okay. So it's now 4.1.1. So this is the latest version of Django right now. So we're going to use this version 4.1.1. So this is now I'm going to use the create a Django project. So before creating Django project, the command is Django as dash admin start project, then your project name. Let's say I'm going to project name is coding ultimate. This is our project name. Enter, then type ls. You can see there is a folder created a coding ultimate here. So this is our Django project. Let's change the directory to our project folder. So this is our project folder. Then type enter. It will be manually inside our project folder. Then type ls. Then you can see that is a coding ultimate folder and manage.py file. And that basically manage.py file basically do that is uh, whenever you are creating application or deploying your applications or creating the managing your port, the manage.py file is required for run your applications. So as you can see, In then cd coding ultimate that folder, type ls, then you can see the few files are there inside, that is sg.py file, init.py file, settings.py file, urls.py file, and ws.py file. I will later will explain the details about those files. So first talk about the settings.py file. So let me open it in our VS Code here. Okay, let me go to the folder. That is desktop coding ultimate. This is our project. Open it. Boom. Now as you can see, that is here our settings.py file. Basically the settings.py file do that Django provides is by default. Like you can see in the settings.py file, that is some of the code is comes by default, right? So that Django provides actually. So that provides the secret key, bash directory, allowed host, debug equal true. And let me tell you that what is the secret key. That secret key should be stay secret whenever you are deploying your applications. Okay, so that's why it give a secret key. And debug equal true means whenever you are running your production, you should keep is a false, because that means the true means that whenever you are running through an error, your project running through error, so that will print all the what is the error exactly in your terminal or in your cell. So in the production case, that should be the Trojan false. And allowed orders basically do that in which IP or in which local, in which host your project is running. So in this case, that host, you should mention this in the allowed host. And install app, that Django by default gives us some application like admin or content type, session, and messages and static files. And whenever you create your own custom application, then you have to manually configure here inside the install app. All right, and middleware is by default the Django gives us some middleware features like security middleware, session middleware, common middleware, cross-site repository middleware, authentication middleware, and message middleware, and explain option middleware. So you can create your own middleware as well as in custom middleware in Django. And next is root URL configurations. This is the root URL configuration, that where your root directory is coming from. So this is the your main URL is here. So this is the settings that PI file, that is root URLs. And templates is like that Django gives us some context processor by default, like context processor, debug, request, auth, and messages. These are the Django context processor in template directory. So whenever you use the MBT pattern architecture, then you have to mention the template in this directory. Okay. Next is WS application. Then WS application is used for whenever we host our project in the server, and that manage our port enabling. In this case, that WS application is required. Okay. And databases is there are Django by default gives us SQLite 3 databases, but you can change the databases as you want. Like you can use MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle databases. All right. And next is auth password validator. And as I told you that in the beginning, that Django gives us by default user, and to validate that user, that Django provides some validation of auth passwords. That user attribute similarity validator, that means user cannot be same as the user password. And minimum length validator, that should be minimum character should be 8. And common password validator means like some common password like password, test password, something like that cannot be done as a password. And numeric password validator, then the numeric password validator means that password cannot be contain only numeric character, or password should be contain only numeric plus string plus uppercase lowercase, just like that. So this is the some password validator in Django. Next is language code, and this is the language code is English United States, and you can change the language code as well as in your own content languages. and time zone is UTC time zone, and that is the worldwide time zone. And you can change here your own contact time zone here. And you USC I18N that true, and USC time zone that is true. That should be turn agent true in Django. And static URL static, that means whenever your project contains some static files, then you have to pass some like say your project contains CSS, JavaScript, and some static file like images files, then you have to give the static file directory in this case. And last but not the least, default autofit, and this is the Django provide us as an ID, and that gives a big autofit. That means that comes from like from 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and up to so on. So this is by default treat as an ID of the table. So this is the setting.py file. And next talk about the urls.py file. Urls.py file, as I told you in the beginning, that it treat as an URL configurations, like whenever your views template directory like redirecting your views, that which path you want to see your page. So in this case you have to mention your views path and redact your path in urls.py file. Next is WSJ file, and as I told you that WSJ file is only used for the server applications, and that is also used for the running your application. Next is init.py file. Init.py file treat that is files as a directory that is used for the init.py files. So this is the of use of how to create the Django project. Next we talk about the how to create the Django applications. Okay.